Hi, I'm Dr. Arzate, diplomate of the American Board of Oral Implantologists, the ABOI, and today I want to tell you something that you should know because I have lots of patients that they ask or request for information. Hey, I want zirconia and I only need zirconia and I'm looking for zirconia. Well, I have news for you because you need to understand this part. First of all, we need to separate two things. One thing is going to be the surgical and another thing is going to be the rehab. And when you're looking for implants, you cannot look for rehab first. You need to see how the bone is. Remember that probably you're gonna have a decay mouth or destroy mouth. Each case is so different. Look at the images about the different types of mouths that I have seen, and when they tell me they want zirconia, first of all I say, wait. I want to see how the bone is. No doctor is going to tell you how the bone is until you drill the bone. And now, we need to understand two things. Bone, it's like land. It's not the same thing, probably in America, it's not the same thing to have a land in Denver or to have it in New York or to have it in Florida. Everything, it's America. But the land's going to behave so different. Same thing with the bone. Sometimes when you drill the bone, it could be concrete, it could be wooden, or it could be sheetrock, like that, as simple as that. And why I make this analogic comparison? Because patients do not know that, and doctors cannot explain that part. So that's why I say, well, first, let's place the implants. After we place the implants, I can tell you, hey, this was a good bone, the land is good, we did the piloting in Denver, so now we can do a building on top, which is going to be made of zirconia. But then you have a patient that has land like Florida, and the bone is like wooden or sheetrock, and they want zirconia. Well, that's going to be, and yes, we can say, hey, you're gonna have zirconia. The problem is that once the doctor has that implant there, what is he gonna do? You're gonna have something that is beautiful and heavy, but it's not on the proper land. You need to do your search, yes, but don't go for the final material. First of all, it's like if I was going to sell cars and you want to buy a Ferrari, I always tell my patients, you want to buy a Ferrari, the first thing that I'm going to tell you is like, where do you live? Because if you tell me that you're going to live in probably a land in Ohio and where there's lots of trucks and you want to buy a Ferrari, well, it's not going to work. That's the most important things. I have lots of patients which they say, I want a Ferrari, Ferrari, Ferrari. Yeah, but what are you going to do with that Ferrari? Are you living in the correct spot? What are you going to do? Let's go back to implants. When we're placing implants, that's where we doctors know how strong the bone is. That measurement is going to be on the motor, and it's going to be traduced to newtons. The strongest man in the world gives you 5 newtons. The motor needs to give us 50 newtons. So if you have a strong bone, a strong land, you put the piloting, then we can talk about zirconia. There are other materials that they are as good as them. It's not that doctors, we don't want to do zirconia. It's because, and I think it's unethical, that a doctor or probably a clinic, it's trying to sell a material without even seeing the patient and drilling into the bone and saying, hey, you're a good candidate for zirconia. But when you have great cases where you have good piloting and you can do zirconia, well, go for it. I'm the first one saying, go for it, try it and do it. But if you're not, you can have hybrids where you have metal acrylic, or you can have metal porcelain, or there are other materials, but you need to discuss that with your doctor. Another thing we need to understand, and I'll go back to the types of mouths that I have seen, what's the story? What's the story behind this? What make you go all the way to that? Do you think if I put new implants and new teeth, you're not gonna put the same pressure than this? Well, when you can have beautiful mouths, but the strength that caused this is going to go over those teeth. So that's why that you need to have the correct doctor that is going to do the piloting and then the restorative work. And if you have the same doctor doing the same work, you're gonna be on the correct aisle. Because sometimes you have a doctor that places the implants and they don't know about rehab, and it's a mixture because one says, well, the implants are in, yeah, but they are not or the correct spot or the correct sizes, or I cannot do the rehab, and that's where the mess comes. My recommendation is to do your homework, search for a clinic where you can talk to the doctor, but also you can have an ethical diagnose, and also that you can find someone that gives you the solution in surgical, but also in prosthetics. Both things, they need to be together because it's something that is going to be for the rest of your life. I'm Dr. Esate, diplomate of the American Board of Oral Implantologists, the ABOI, and I'm happy to help you find a good solution for your oral four.